Her military training may be over, but for Princess Leonor, the real test could be just beginning. After years of discipline, early mornings, demanding exercises, and life inside Spain's armed forces, the future queen is moving into a completely different chapter. And here's the question that could make this transition so important: what happens when a future monarch stops preparing to serve and starts preparing to lead? Because Leonor's next steps won't simply be about where she studies, where she travels, or what public appearances she makes. Every decision will be watched, every speech will be analyzed, and every new responsibility could offer Spain a glimpse of the monarch she may one day become. Imagine standing at the edge of a completely new life. For years, Princess Leonor's path has been carefully structured around preparation, military discipline, education, public duties, tradition, responsibility. The goal was never simply to become a soldier. It was to experience a demanding institution, understand service from the inside, and develop qualities that could matter enormously to a future head of state. But now comes the fascinating part. What happens next? The end of military training doesn't mean Leonor's preparation is finished. If anything, it may signal the beginning of one of the most closely watched stages of her journey. Because the crown requires a different kind of preparation. A future queen must understand institutions. She must communicate with people from very different backgrounds. She must represent Spain at home and abroad. And perhaps most importantly, she must gradually develop her own public identity. That creates an intriguing challenge. Leonor has grown up knowing that her future is unlike that of almost anyone else her age. But as her responsibilities increase, Spain will inevitably begin asking a new question: who is Princess Leonor becoming? Not just the daughter of King Felipe VI, not simply the heir to the throne, but the woman who could eventually become Spain's queen. And this is where her next chapter becomes so interesting. Military training gave her one perspective on leadership, discipline, teamwork, endurance, and service. Her future responsibilities will require something different: judgment, diplomacy, communication, and the ability to remain composed when millions of people are watching. There will likely be more official engagements, more international responsibilities, more opportunities to speak publicly, and perhaps more moments when Leonor will have to step forward without her parents defining the entire story around her. That transition could be subtle, but it could also be powerful. Because eventually, the public will stop seeing her simply as the young princess preparing for the future. They will begin seeing her as the future itself. And that changes everything. Think about the pressure. A single speech can become headline news. A simple gesture can be interpreted as a message. A public appearance can generate endless speculation. And every new responsibility can become another test of whether Spain's future queen is ready for the enormous expectations surrounding the crown. Yet there is another side to this story. Leonor's generation is growing up in a rapidly changing Spain. Young people see the monarchy differently. The country itself continues to evolve. And the future queen will eventually have to connect a centuries-old institution with a completely modern society. That may be one of her greatest challenges. How do you preserve tradition without appearing trapped by it? How do you represent continuity while demonstrating that you understand a changing generation? And how do you build trust without trying to become something you're not? Those questions won't be answered overnight. They may take years. But every stage of Leonor's development could provide another clue. Her military chapter may be closing. Her royal chapter is only getting bigger. And somewhere between formal ceremonies, education, international appearances, and moments away from the spotlight, Spain will slowly discover what kind of future queen she intends to be. Perhaps the most fascinating part is that nobody can know the final answer yet, because a future monarch isn't created in one ceremony, not through one uniform, not through one speech, and certainly not overnight. It happens gradually, one responsibility at a time, one decision at a time, one public moment at a time. So as Princess Leonor leaves military training behind, don't think of this as the end of her preparation. Think of it as the moment the preparation begins to transform into something much bigger. The training ground is behind her, the crown is still ahead, and the distance between those two worlds may reveal more about Spain's future queen than anything we've seen so far. Because the question is no longer simply whether Leonor is being prepared to become queen. The question is, what kind of queen is she becoming? And that is the chapter Spain is about to watch unfold.